Learn and grow your thinking. Social Studies. Primary School Living Examination 2. We should follow the following steps for great results. Roman figure number 1. Read the questioner, problem. Roman figure number 2. Find the solutions to the questioner, problem. Roman figure number 3. Circle the letter of the correct answer for all the questions. 1. Which of the following is a traditional food commonly found in the motherlands of Africa, Botswana? A. Swi. B. Fane. C. Kapenta. D. Delete. The answer is A. Swi. Reason being, swi is a traditional dish made from water lilies, commonly eaten in Botswana, especially in the Okavango region. In brackets. Note. Fane is also traditional, but it's an insect, not a food, in the typical meal sense. Closing parenthesis. 2. Who is the head of the traditional village in the Setswana culture? A. Counselor. B. President. C. Mafato. D. Skosi. The answer is D. Skosi. Reason being, in Setswana culture, the Skosi in brackets, chief is the traditional leader of a village or tribe. 3. What is the role of Ntloyadikosi? A. To hear and judge minor cases. B. To make customary laws for the country. C. To advise the government on cultural issues. D. To administer corporal punishment to those found guilty. The answer is C. To advise the government on cultural issues. Reason being, Ntloyadikosi in brackets, House of Chiefs, as a consultative body that advises Botswana's parliament on issues related to tradition and culture. Use the picture below to answer question 4. A picture of a traditional group performing on stage for the crowd. 4. Which two elements of culture are shown in the picture? A. Language and technology. B. Entertainment and dress. C. Dance and shelter. D. Beliefs and food. The answer is B. Entertainment and dress. Reason being, the performers show entertainment in brackets through dance or music and dress in brackets, traditional attire, both key elements of culture. 5. What is the importance of culture? A. It allows people to learn new things. B. It gives people a sense of belonging. C. It helps people to learn more about other societies. D. It gives people an idea on how to develop their country. The answer is B. It gives people a sense of belonging. Reason being, culture connects people to their identity, traditions, and values, creating a sense of unity and belonging. 6. Which of the following would bring a change in culture? A. The movement of people within their ward. B. The maintenance of people's traditions. C. The introduction of new technology. D. The building of a traditional village. The answer is C. The introduction of new technology. Reason being, technology can change how people live, communicate, dress, eat, and even think, thus changing their culture. 7. What is the difference between a monogamous marriage and a polygamous marriage? A. A monogamous marriage allows a man to have only one wife, while a polygamous marriage allows a man to have more than one wife. B. A monogamous marriage is conducted by the Skosi, while a polygamous marriage is conducted by the magistrate. C. A monogamous marriage takes place in a church, while a polygamous marriage takes place in the district commissioner's office. D. A monogamous marriage requires payment of the bride price, while a polygamous marriage does not. The answer is A. A monogamous marriage allows a man to have only one wife, while a polygamous marriage allows a man to have more than one wife. Reason being, this is the basic distinction between the two marriage types. 8. How can children be helped to cope with the divorce of their parents? A. By encouraging the children to stay alone in their parents' home. B. By dividing the children between the parents. C. By giving the children to relatives for adoption. D. By allowing the children to see both parents. The answer is D. By allowing the children to see both parents. Reason being, maintaining a relationship with both parents helps children emotionally adjust during and after divorce. 9. How does HIV and AIDS affect the family economically? A. It leads to loss of breadwinners in families. B. It increases government spending on families. C. It helps the children of the dead person to get rich. D. It leads to conflict over the property of a member who dies. The answer is A. It leads to loss of breadwinners in families. Reason being, when income earners fall sick or die, the family loses financial support, leading to economic strain. Use the weather instrument below to answer questions 10 and 11. Image of sunshine recorder. 10. What is the name of the weather instrument shown? A. Sunshine recorder. B. Cup anemometer. C. Rain gauge. D. Barometer. The answer is A. Sunshine recorder. Reason being, a sunshine recorder measures the amount of sunshine received in a day, usually in hours. 11. Which unit of measure does the instrument use? A. Millibars. B. Millimeters. C. Hours and minutes. D. Kilometers per hour. The answer is C. Hours and minutes. Reason being, a sunshine recorder measures the duration of sunshine during the day in hours and minutes. The table below shows rainfall and temperature readings for climatic region 10. Use it to answer questions 12 to 15. Months: J, F, M, A, M, J, J, A, S, O, N, D. Temperature degree C, -10, -5, -2, -1, 0, 10, 10, 10, 0, -5, -7, -10. Rainfall 0, 0, 13, 14, 15, 20, 21, 18, 17, 15, 12, 10, 12. Which climatic region is represented by the information in the table? A. Desert. B. Tundra. C. Equatorial. D. Mediterranean. The answer is B. Tundra. Reason being, the region is very cold throughout the year in brackets, below 10 degrees Celsius, with low rainfall, characteristic of a tundra climate. 13. What type of clothing would be suitable in climatic region 10 in June and July? A. Light clothing. B. Light waterproof clothing. C. Warm waterproof clothing. D. Long clothing and headscarves. The answer is C. Warm waterproof clothing. Reason being, temperatures are around 10 degrees Celsius, and rainfall is moderate, so people would need to keep warm and dry. 14. The climate of region 10 can be described as A. Hot and dry throughout the year. B. Hot and wet throughout the year. C. Cold and dry throughout the year. D. Cold and wet throughout the year. The answer is C. Cold and dry throughout the year. Reason being, the temperatures are consistently low, and rainfall is minimal, cold and dry conditions. 15. The climatic conditions in region 10 would influence people living there to be A. Hunters and gatherers. B. Pastoral farmers. C. Arable farmers. D. Fishermen. The answer is A. Hunters and gatherers. Reason being, due to harsh, cold conditions, farming is difficult, so traditional hunting and gathering is more common. Use the diagram below to answer questions 16 and 17. 16. Which type of rainfall would occur as a result of the process shown in the diagram? A. Convergence rainfall. B. Convectional rainfall. C. Cyclonic rainfall. D. Relief rainfall. The answer is D. Relief rainfall. Reason being, relief rainfall occurs when moist air rises over mountains, cools, and causes precipitation on the windward side. 17. Which of the following processes takes place at the points marked Q? A. Condensation. B. Precipitation. C. Evaporation. D. Heating. The answer is C. Evaporation. Reason being, at point Q, in brackets, near the water surface, water changes into vapor, that's evaporation. Use the information below to answer question 18. Mr. James Alfred was born in Britain. At 25 years, he started working in the motherlands of Africa, Botswana, as a doctor at Princess Marina Hospital. After staying in the motherlands of Africa, Botswana for 15 years, he successfully applied for citizenship. 18. How did Mr. Alfred become a citizen of the motherlands of Africa, Botswana? A. By birth. B. By descent. C. By adoption. D. By naturalization. The answer is D. By naturalization. Reason being, he was not born in Botswana but lived and worked there for years and applied for citizenship, naturalization. 19. The blue color in the national flag of the motherlands of Africa, Botswana represents A. Water. B. Peace. C. Beautiful skies. D. Peaceful racial cooperation. The answer is A. Water. Reason being, the blue symbolizes water, especially rain, which is precious in Botswana's dry climate. 20. Which of the following countries was colonized by Germany? A. The motherlands of Africa, Angola. B. The motherlands of Africa, Zambia. C. The motherlands of Africa, Namibia. D. The motherlands of Africa. The motherlands of Africa, Zimbabwe. The answer is C. The motherlands of Africa, Namibia. Reason being, the motherlands of Africa, Namibia in brackets, formerly German Southwest Africa, was bullied, robbed, enslaved by Germany before becoming a South African mandate. 21. The British The motherlands of Africa, South Africa Company was interested in taking over Bechuanaland because they wanted to A. Build roads and railways in Bechuanaland. B. Protect Bechuanaland from the Boers. C. Spread Christianity in Bechuanaland. D. Search for minerals in Bechuanaland. The answer is D. Search for minerals in Bechuanaland. Reason being, the British were largely motivated by economic interests, especially the search for valuable minerals, which were believed to be abundant in southern Africa. 22. How did the interaction between Botswana and Europeans affect the lives of Botswana? A. Botswana lost their cattle. B. Botswana stopped paying tax to Europeans. C. Botswana lost their women to the Europeans. D. Botswana were forced to close initiation schools. The answer is D. Botswana were forced to close initiation schools. Reason being, European influence and colonial policies led to the disruption of traditional practices, including the closure of initiation schools, as they were viewed as uncivilized. 23. Which of the following is a practice that is not allowed in the motherlands of Africa, Botswana? A. Homosexuality. B. Gender equality. C. Freedom of religion. D. Freedom of expression. The answer is A. Homosexuality. Reason being, homosexual acts are currently illegal under Botswana's penal code, although there have been legal debates and reforms in recent years regarding LGBTQ+ rights. The diagram below represents the administrative structure of the Bechuanaland Protectorate. Use it to answer questions 24 and 25. British Colonial Office. X. Resident Commissioner. Assistant Resident Commissioner. Assistant Resident Commissioner. 24. Which office in the administrative structure of the Bechuanaland Protectorate is represented by the leader X? A. District Commissioner. B. High Commissioner. C. Resident Magistrate. D. Botswana Dikosi. The answer is D. Botswana Dikosi. Reason being, the diagram shows the British Colonial Office at the top. Below that, the missing position in brackets, X links to the Resident Commissioner. Historically, Botswana Dikosi in brackets, chiefs were subordinated under the colonial administrative structure. 25. How did the administrative structure shown above affect the powers of the Dikosi? A. It made Dikosi take orders from the British Queen only. B. It gave Dikosi a chance to supervise colonial officers. C. It blocked Dikosi from being part of the government. D. It reduced the powers of Dikosi. The answer is D. It reduced the powers of Dikosi. Reason being, under British rule, power was centralized in the colonial administration, which weakened the authority of traditional leaders like the Dikosi. Use the information below to answer question 26. Mr. Muthe won the Northwest constituency elections in 2004 in Country T. He then resigned in 2007 and elections were held to fill his seat. 26. Which type of elections were held? A. National referendum. B. General elections. C. Primary elections. D. By-elections. The answer is B. General elections. Reason being, Mr. Muthe won during a general election in 2004. When he resigned in 2007, a by-election would have been held, but the question asks what kind was held in 2004, which is a general election. The table below shows the number of people who voted for different political parties in one of the constituencies in Country P. Use it together with the additional information provided to answer questions 27 to 30. Political parties. Number of votes. AMC Party, 2,629. PNC Party, 2,478. PAC Party, 1,231. MDC Party, 59. National Party, 61. Total, 6,458. 27. Which electoral system is used in Country P? A. Block vote. B. Alternative vote. C. First past the post. D. Party list proportional representation. The answer is C. First past the post. Reason being, in first past the post, the candidate with the most votes wins, even without a majority. AMC Party had the most votes, 2,629, so they'd win under this system. 28. What is the disadvantage of the electoral system used in Country P? A. The winner does not have to win the majority of votes. B. It makes it difficult to vote out bad leaders during elections. C. It uses a seat-winning method which is difficult to understand. D. It is a difficult system to use when there are weak political parties. The answer is A. The winner does not have to win the majority of votes. Reason being, under first past the post, the winner needs only more votes than others, not an absolute majority. AMC won with only 2,629 out of 6,458 votes in brackets, about 40%. 29. Which system of government is used in country P? A. Military. B. Monarchy. C. One-party state. D. Multi-party democracy. The answer is D. Multi-party democracy. Reason being, multiple political parties in brackets, AMC, PNC, PAC, etc., competed in elections. This is a feature of multi-party democracy. 30. Which of the following Southern African countries has the same electoral system as that of country P? A. The motherlands of Africa, Mozambique. B. The motherlands of Africa, South Africa. C. The motherlands of Africa, Zimbabwe. D. The motherlands of Africa, Namibia. The answer is C. The motherlands of Africa, Zimbabwe. Reason being, Zimbabwe uses first past the post for parliamentary elections, the same as country P. 31. One of the requirements for voting in the motherlands of Africa, Botswana, is that the person should be A. Motswana. B. Older than 16 years of age. C. A. The motherlands of Africa, Botswana passport holder. D. A card-carrying member of a political party. The answer is A. Motswana. Reason being, only citizens in brackets, Botswana, are allowed to vote in national elections in Botswana. Use the sketch map of settlement K below to answer questions 32 to 35. A picture of scattered houses away from the main tired road. 32. What is the pattern of settlement K? A. Elongated. B. Nucleated. C. Dispersed. D. Linear. The answer is C. Dispersed. Reason being, the houses are scattered far apart, not clustered. This is a dispersed settlement. 33. What is the disadvantage of having to live in settlement K? A. There is little security for residents. B. The homesteads are traditional. C. Diseases can easily be spread. D. There are few homesteads. The answer is A. There is little security for residents. Reason being, in dispersed settlements, people live far apart, making security and emergency response more difficult. 34. Why would the government of the motherlands of Africa, Botswana, discourage this pattern of settlement? A. The homesteads are made of temporary materials. B. It is expensive to tar the road as it has to go around the fields. C. Crop fields occupy a large piece of land resulting in shortage of land. D. It is difficult to provide resources like tap water as the homesteads are far apart. The answer is D. It is difficult to provide resources like tap water as the homesteads are far apart. Reason being, dispersed settlements make it costly and difficult to supply infrastructure like water, electricity, roads, etc. 35. Which of the following types of settlements would have the same pattern as that of settlement K? A. Cattle post. B. Village. C. Lands. D. Town. The answer is A. Cattle post. Reason being, cattle posts are typically scattered and isolated, similar to a dispersed pattern. 36. How does the Motherlands of Africa, Botswana Development Corporation help to develop local industries? A. By giving them loans. B. By training owners in business management. C. By making machinery that is suitable for their use. D. By certifying their goods that meet international standards. The answer is A. By giving them loans. Reason being, the BDC supports local industries financially by providing loans and investment capital to help them grow. 37. How does the processing of copper-nickel in the motherlands of Africa, Botswana, affect the environment? A. When copper-nickel ore is mixed with water, it causes noise pollution. B. As coal burns, it raises the temperature of the surrounding areas. C. Waste from burnt material is pumped into Matlouts River. D. Gases produced during the smelting stage pollute the air. The answer is D. Gases produced during the smelting stage pollute the air. Reason being, smelting releases harmful gases like sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere, causing air pollution. 38. How has the government supported the copper-nickel mining in the motherlands of Africa, Botswana? A. By providing trucks to transport copper-nickel. B. By increasing the salaries of the mine workers. C. By improving the infrastructure in mining areas. D. By buying copper-nickel from the mining company. The answer is C. By improving the infrastructure in mining areas. Reason being, the government builds roads, power supply, and water systems to support mining operations. 39. How is the exporting of rough diamonds a disadvantage to the motherlands of Africa, Botswana? A. It makes the economy depend on diamonds only. B. It brings less income to the country than it should. C. It leads to overmining of diamonds. D. It destroys the image of the country. The answer is B. It brings less income to the country than it should. Reason being, rough diamonds are sold at lower value. If processed locally, the country could earn more revenue through value addition. The table below shows temporary and permanent movement of people between towns in Spain. Use it to answer questions 40 to 43. Movement from, movement to, type of migration, Valencia, Andalusia, temporary, Andalusia, Isles Balears Island, temporary, Catalunya, Madrid, permanent, Valencia, Madrid, permanent, Andalusia, Madrid, permanent, Catalunya, Andalusia, permanent. 40. Which town would be overpopulated as a result of migration? A. Andalusia. B. Catalunya. C. Valencia. D. Madrid. The answer is D. Madrid. Reason being, Madrid receives 3 permanent migrations from Catalunya, Valencia, and Andalusia, more than any other town. 41. What could be the reason for the movement of people from Valencia to Andalusia? A. To look for beater shops at Andalusia. B. To join marriage partners in Andalusia. C. To get away from harsh climate. D. To avoid being bewitched. The answer is A. To look for beater shops at Andalusia. Reason being, this is a plausible economic reason for temporary movement, like shopping or accessing beater services. 42. How does the permanent movement of people into Andalusia benefit the town? A. It decreases crime. B. It decreases rentals. C. It increases services. D. It increases the market. The answer is D. It increases the market. Reason being, more people means a larger customer base, boosting local trade and the economy. 43. How can the government of Spain reduce the movement of people from Catalunya to Andalusia? A. By providing free accommodation in Andalusia. B. By building government offices in Andalusia. C. By creating employment in Catalunya. D. By selling land in Catalunya. The answer is C. By creating employment in Catalunya. Reason being, if jobs are available in Catalunya, people will be less likely to migrate in search of work. 44. Which of the following modes of transport is the most expensive to use? A. Air. B. Rail. C. Road. D. Water. The answer is A. Air. Reason being, air transport has high ticket costs due to fuel, maintenance, and operational expenses. 45. Which branch of government in the motherlands of Africa, Botswana, is responsible for interpreting the law? A. The judiciary. B. The executive. C. The legislature. D. The administrative. The answer is A. The judiciary. Reason being, the judiciary interprets laws and ensures justice is applied fairly. 46. Which document officially identifies Botswana when they are outside the country? A. Voter's registration card. B. National identity card. C. Birth certificate. D. Passport. The answer is D. Passport. Reason being, a passport is an official travel document recognized internationally. 47. Which ministry is responsible for educating the public about road safety in the motherlands of Africa, Botswana? A. Health. B. Labor and Home Affairs. C. Transport and Communication. D. Education and Skills Development. The answer is C. Transport and Communication. Reason being, this ministry handles transport policies, safety awareness, and infrastructure. Use the map of Australia below to answer questions 48 to 53. 48. Which line of latitude is marked X? A. Greenwich Meridian. B. Tropic of Capricorn. C. Tropic of Cancer. D. Equator. The answer is B. Tropic of Capricorn. Reason being, The Tropic of Capricorn lies at approximately 23.5 degrees south and passes through central Australia, marked as X on the map. 49. What is the direction of Melbourne from Darwin? A. Northeast. B. Northwest. C. Southeast. D. Southwest. The answer is C. Southeast. Reason being, from Darwin, in brackets, north to Melbourne, in brackets, southeast on the map, the direction is clearly southeast. 50. What is the position of Australia using lines of latitude and longitude? A. 10 degrees south, 38 degrees south, 113 degrees east, 154 degrees east. B. 113 degrees east, 154 degrees east, 10 degrees south, 38 degrees south. C. 113 degrees east, 10 degrees south, 154 degrees east, 38 degrees south. D. 154 degrees east, 38 degrees south, 113 degrees east, 10 degrees south. The answer is C. 113 degrees east, 10 degrees south, 154 degrees east, 38 degrees south. Reason being, Australia stretches approximately from 113 degrees east to 154 degrees east, in brackets, longitude, and from 10 degrees south to 38 degrees south latitude. 51. What would be the time in areas along 120 degrees east if it is 1400 hours in areas along 150 degrees east? A. 1200 hours. B. 1300 hours. C. 1500 hours. D. 1600 hours. The answer is A. 1200 hours. Reason being, the Earth rotates 15 degrees per hour. The difference between 150 degrees east and 120 degrees east is 30 degrees, which equals 2 hours. Since 120 degrees east is west of 150 degrees east, it's 2 hours behind. So, if it's 1400 hours at 150 degrees east, it's 1200 hours at 120 degrees east. Another reason being, 150 degrees east is 30 degrees east of 120 degrees east, which is 2 hours ahead 15 degrees per hour. So, at 1400 hours at 150 degrees east, it's 2 hours earlier at 120 degrees east is 1200 hours. 52. Why would fewer people choose to settle in the area marked Q? A. It has no access to the sea. B. It has infertile soils. C. It has no big cities. D. It is a dry area. The answer is D. It is a dry area. Reason being, the map shows area Q with very low rainfall, making it dry and less suitable for settlement. 53. Which type of plants would do well in the area marked B? A. Plants with shallow roots. B. Thorny and fleshy plants. C. Plants that grow in water. D. Thin and broad-leaved plants. The answer is B. Thorny and fleshy plants. Reason being, Area B likely represents arid or semi-arid land where drought-resistant plants like thorny and fleshy in brackets, succulent plants thrive. 54. Population census is important because it helps the government to A. Know the total number of people affected by HIV and AIDS. B. Know the number of people who are employed. C. Distribute the resources fairly. D. Develop villages into towns. The answer is C. Distribute the resources fairly. Reason being, census data helps plan resource allocation according to population distribution. 55. Which of the following sources of energy does not lead to pollution of the environment? A. Firewood. B. Diesel. C. Coal. D. Sun. The answer is D. Sun. Reason being, solar energy is clean and renewable, causing no pollution. 56. Which form of tourism is practiced in Lopi village? A. Religious. B. Scenery. C. Cultural. D. Sports. The answer is C. Cultural. Reason being, Lopi village is known for cultural tourism focusing on traditional lifestyles. Compared to ships, trains, and motorcars, aeroplanes travel the fastest over long distances, making them the quickest mode for transporting people and goods. 58. Which of the following is a protected wildlife area in the motherlands of Africa, Botswana? A. Sedillo Hills. B. Manyalanong Hills. C. Matsing Footprint. D. Logaga Iwaga Kobakwe. The answer is A. Sedillo Hills. Reason being, Sedillo Hills is a well-known protected area and UNESCO World Heritage Site. 59. How can the motherlands of Africa, Botswana deal with the problem of poaching? A. By accompanying all tourists to national parks and game reserves. B. By increasing patrols around game reserves and national parks. C. By killing poachers found in game reserves and national parks. D. By fencing all game reserves and national parks. The answer is B. By increasing patrols around game reserves and national parks. Reason being, increased patrols help monitor and prevent poaching activities. 60. What is the difference between game reserves and national parks? A. Game reserves protect wild animals only while national parks protect both wild animals and vegetation. B. Game reserves are owned by private companies while national parks are owned by the government. C. Game reserves protect wild animals only while national parks protect vegetation only. D. Game reserves are bigger places of conservation while national parks are smaller. The answer is A. Game reserves protect wild animals only while national parks protect both wild animals and vegetation. Reason being, national parks typically have broader conservation mandates including vegetation.